Today is about sales. Today is about improving your closing ratio.
Our customers, they have three things they're trying to satisfy. Is this the right person? Is this the right company? And is this the right time? I also believe that people do business, Kevin, with people that they like and with people that they trust. I can't do that if my phone keeps ringing. I can't do that with the distractions. Kevin, I never wore a watch on a sales call until I left the field because I was afraid that I would look at the watch. These are little tiny things that salespeople can do wrong.
Hello, I'd like to welcome you all to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast. My name is Kevin Comerford, and I am fired up about today's show. Let me tell you why. Today is about sales. Today is about improving your closing ratio. Today is something that I love and that I am so passionate about because nothing happens in our company until someone sells something to somebody. Period. These are sales and marketing machines. These businesses are. If people think they're heating and air companies or electrical businesses or plumbing businesses, that's wrong. These are sales and marketing machines. Sales drives our businesses. I lead a small group of other small business owners. I lead a mentoring group of other small business owners that we get together once a month. Some of them are painters. Some of them are concrete pourers, pumpers, they call them. Some of them are, one is a cemetery plot company, cemetery plot salesperson company. Everything is sales when it comes to growing these businesses. If they get distracted and think that they're in the cemetery plot business and it's about cemetery plots, that's wrong. It is about driving sales to make things happen in a growing business like ours. I think today can be a game changer. I actually think today could be a life changer. We're putting together a 3-part series, which I'm really excited about. Part 1, and by the way, the name of the podcast is The Top 3 Sales Techniques to Increase Your Close Ratio by 10 percentage points. Episode 1, very simply, is act like a boss. Episode 2, explore like Columbus. And episode 3 is connect like a magnet. For a huge topic like this, I need an awesome wingman, and we've brought in the best. We've brought in a gentleman by the name of Alan Smith from Charlotte, North Carolina. He is the sales leader at Morris Jenkins. But boy, oh boy, is Alan so much more than that. I actually think Alan, and I know he's going to be very humbled by this, he's a living legend in HVAC sales. He's been doing it for over 25 years, specifically sales. And he was doing $4 million annually 10 plus years ago. He was competing with another legend in the industry, Jonathan Bancroft, when I went to go visit their company many, many years ago. Battling back and forth for top in the country, like I said. When people were struggling to do $1 million a year, Alan and Jonathan were doing $4+ million. This gentleman came out of the field in 2017, so he was able to make that transition from an individual contributor to a leader of people. His last year in sales, 2017, he was in the field for 10 and a half months, and he did 4.7 million. In 2017, in only 10 and a half months. Right now, he leads 13 HVAC salespeople that are on target to do $48 million in total. He leads 10 plumbing salespeople that are on target to do $8 million. And, oh, by the way, he's got 7 salespeople that are currently in the top 10 for the GOAT Awards. So you want to talk about somebody who made that transition effectively as a leader of people? That's Alan Smith. That's who we have on the show today. So fired up. So excited. Alan, welcome to the Wisdom of Wrench podcast, my friend.
Glad to be here, Kevin.
Oh, Alan, and we are glad to have you. We are glad to have you. Everything I said there, I can already tell from just our discussions leading up to this. You are humbled by that, so let me brag on you, buddy. Let me brag on you. You've been an inspiration to me and to so many out in the field. So I am so excited to hear you today to talk about, again, act like a boss, explore like Columbus, connect like a magnet. Let's get rolling on episode 1, Alan, which is act like a boss.
Okay.
Before we do, though, I'd love to just have you share with us a little bit about you, your family, your background. I bragged on you a little bit, but I know that I left some stuff out because I know there's so much more. So, Alan, take it away, buddy.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, Kevin, thanks for the introduction, and thanks for having me. Glad to be part of this. I'm born and raised in Charlotte. This is home for me, Charlotte, North Carolina. And growing up, my dad was a heating and air salesperson, also a roofing salesperson, also a fencing salesperson, also a window salesperson. He worked for Sears and Roebuck, and he sold home improvements. So he's the GOAT, and I learned from the best. When I was in the 7th, 8th grade, plus or minus, he left Sears and came to Morris Jenkins and retired from here. So I've just been surrounded by good influence, really. If you've heard Zig Ziglar tell the story of the turtle on the fence post, I'm the turtle man. I'm like the shell, the head, the whole thing. I'm him. But this is good. This has been a good place to be. I studied music in college. I was going to be a band director. And out of college, Dad said, "Hey, I got you lined up to meet Mr. Jenkins." I'm like, "Well, why?" And so, sometimes life throws you a curveball. So big thanks to Mr. Jenkins for giving me the opportunity to come here. But this is 25 years later, and I wouldn't change a thing in the world. My wife and I, Gina, live right outside of Charlotte. We have 2 boys that'll turn 18 this Friday. So they're big kids. So we got big kids. And so that's really it. Not too much exciting going here. Just working more work, right?
You mentioned your father,
Helping
David
people.
Smith. He was one of the gentlemen that I came out and learned from a ton when we were just, this was 2004, 2005. We were a $4 million business, soon to be a $120 million business because of people like David Smith that taught us a sales process, which we're going to talk a little bit about. But what a man David was.
Sure.
What a legend, right? God bless David, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's retired doing well, but Jonathan and I both, we needed that competition, each other. We needed each other's push. It was friendly competition, but we needed his mentorship, and it just really worked well, really worked out.
Well, Alan, let's jump right into this. Let's jump right into our first point, because we got a lot of people out there that I really believe are going to learn from this and improve their closing ratio by 10 percentage points. Mark the date down.
I got it.
Yes.
October 14th.
I went and I looked up the Urban Dictionary definition of act like a boss, because I hear my son say it all the time. My 2 boys, I've got a 21-year-old and 18-year-old. Act like a boss. So I looked it up in the Urban Dictionary, and here's what it means: confident authority, in control, with a stylish swagger. Handling a situation with skill and confidence. This is why we made this number one, Alan. This is what is most important when it comes to getting yourself ready, mentally prepared. I'd love for you just to talk a little bit about what that means to you, Alan, and how you set the stage and set the tone for your sales team to act like a boss.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Man, just set the table here if you don't mind. I fully believe that our customers, you would say clients, right? They have three things they're trying to satisfy. They're trying to satisfy, is this the right person? Is this the right company? And is this the right time? Is Kevin Comerford the right dude? Is Service Champions the right company? Is today the day, right? They're trying to satisfy that. I also believe that people do business, Kevin, with people that they like and with people that they trust. Like, if I really like you, but I don't trust you, we're not going to work together, right? If I trust you, but I just don't like you, like, we're probably not going to work together. So there we go. That people are trying to find somebody that they like and they trust. And then we need to determine if today's the right day. And it all starts with the salesperson and the way they prepare and present themselves.
100%.
Tracking with me?
So when you say prepare, expand on that a little bit more. Are we talking about mentally prepare? Yeah, I'd love you to just talk about that.
Yeah. Let's talk about the mental aspect here. Number one, I've been around a lot of salespeople. And most salespeople spend more time worrying about the lead they didn't get as opposed to the lead that they got. I got sent to this side of town. He's going to that side of town. I got a Home Depot lead. He got a tech flip. Just this, it's kind of natural. Salespeople worry a lot about the leads they didn't get.
Oh,
have you experienced that?
I have.
Well, what we got to focus on is the customer. We've got to find the pain points. We've got to make a friend. And you can't do that when you're worrying why you're not getting somebody else's leads. And so, first of all, we just need to worry about the people that we're going to see. Love the one you're with, number one. Number two, leave the last call at the last house. Whether you sold it or whether you missed the last one, it stays there. We go to the new call fresh.
Of course.
Make sense? Like, reflection is good. When you make a win, reflect. What did I do? What did I say? Why did they buy today? Learn from that. If they didn't buy, what could I have done different? What did I say that turned the conversation? What did I miss? Like, certainly reflect. But don't carry that baggage to the next call. Man, we're going to wipe the slate clean, and we're going to go take care of the Comerfords. That's where we're going next. So get your mind in the game.
Before we started today's podcast, we took some deep breaths. I know that I visualized what this podcast was going to be like. What is that, and how does that show up? And what could we teach our salespeople when it comes to those things? Because it's nerve-wracking. Leading a podcast or running a podcast can be anxious or can create anxiety and nervousness. Running a sales call, Alan, with someone on the other side of the door can be very anxious. So how can we prepare mentally for that?
Okay. Well, first thing that comes into my mind, Kevin, is you can't be in it for the money. You can't be in it for the money. It can't be what's in it for me. Mr. Jenkins laid this out for me years ago. He said, Kevin, don't chase the dollars. The way he would say it is they would grow wings and fly away, right? You just go make a friend, figure out what's wrong, show them how you can solve it, educate them well, you'll get a yes. So for me, I never worried about the money piece.
But Alan,
and
but
it
you
really
like the
wasn't
money.
about the win.
Let's just be clear. You like the money.
Yeah, money's fine. But the money will show up if you solve enough problems, help enough people get what they want. The money will show up, right? So, I think your question is, what do you do to get prepared for the call? Well, taking some deep breaths is a good thing. Pulling over in a gas station parking lot before you get to the call, and making sure that your shoes don't have mud all over them, and making sure that your belt's on straight, making sure you don't have food in your teeth. We're going to learn a little bit about this customer. We may look this house up and see how long they've lived there. These things are valuable. Like, we want to go in fully prepared, mentally prepared and physically prepared. If it was a tech flip, I want to know, what's going on there. I want to talk to this technician. If it's a sewer lead, and we do sewer sales here, I might look at the satellite and see if there's manhole covers in the street, or are there bright green lines in the yards where everybody has leach fields and septic tanks. Like, I just want to learn all I can learn about this house quickly. Take a couple of deep breaths. Crank some good music that pumps you up, right? That's the work for me.
Yes.
Turn the radio off before you pull in their driveway or pull up in front of the house. But that's how I prepared. That was it. Don't worry about other people's leads. Don't chase the money. Learn what you can learn about that house. And then get in the mode to have some fun. And I did. I had fun all the time with these customers.
You said a couple things, Alan, that I want to spend a little bit of time on. Or just make sure I'm tracking properly. Focus on what you can control. Can I really control the other lead the other person got? Do I have any control over that?
It's outside of your will of influence. You can't.
So I'm sure every salesperson has heard that before. Focus on what you can control. Probably heard it from their mother. If I'm a salesperson that falls into that trap continuously, how do I get myself out of that? When I find that I continue to focus on someone else's lead, what can I do, Alan, to remind myself to focus on what I can control?
Well, let me be clear. I've been in the trap too. Like, I've been in that trap. You know what I'm saying?
So guilty, guilty, same.
Yeah, guilty. Yeah, for sure. But what I realized a lot of times is, you mentioned Jonathan Bancroft. He and I, we run together for over a decade. Sometimes I'd call him and he was having the same gripes and complaints I was having. Made me feel a little bit better. Like, he didn't have all the perfect calls. Right? But then I would show up at the call and I'd just meet the sweetest people. And they were always so respectful. And I had the best conversations. I've learned so much about so many things by meeting so many neat people. Towards the end, it didn't matter what call somebody else had. I was getting ready to go make a new friend, meet somebody really cool. And it happened over and over again. There's some special people out there that we have the chance to interact with.
And what I'll tell you, Alan, for me, those voices never stop. The voices of doubt in myself, the voices of comparison. And I'm a believer that comparison is the thief that steals our joy. So if I'm comparing myself against another salesperson, you can sure as hell bet I'm going to be filled with anxiety. What I've learned is to pay attention to those emotions. What I've learned is, because they never go away completely. They never go. And if I think they go away and I have a great day today, tomorrow they're going to creep back in. And so what I'm hearing you say, because it sounds like you went through it as well, is just the awareness, like just have an awareness of when that's happening to you, and see if you can put yourself, because this is what I do. I I take myself to a place of gratitude and put my focus on what I am thankful for, what I do have. Because I will be the first one to tell you, Alan, I love Jonathan as well. I will be the first one to tell you I absolutely can slide back into focusing on what I don't have, that other lead, what those other people have, whatever it is.
Sure.
You have any insight on that for yourself and how that relates to a salesperson on their journey?
Well, this segment, I've got a list of things that we're going to talk about. You and I've already talked about them. And for me, this is really capturing the little wins. So, a salesperson is going to have some big objections, some big mountains they got to climb over. But there's a bunch of little ones that we don't want to be self-inflicted. And one of those is being distracted. Like I can't show up to you and Carolyn's house and learn about you guys and your needs and explore like Columbus and find pain points and come up with solutions. I can't do that if I'm thinking about somebody else's lead. I can't do that if my phone keeps ringing. I can't do that with the distractions. And so for me, I'm not suggesting that the salespeople that will listen to this podcast do this. I never took a phone on a call. I never, ever, not one time, ever took a phone in on a call.
I wouldn't want the salespeople inside Wrench to follow a living legend. I mean, come on. Did everybody just hear that black swan? Did everybody? That is a black swan moment. That is a moment that is so powerful. I never brought a phone into a sales lead.
Kevin, I never wore a watch on a sales call until I left the field and got in my new role because I was afraid that I would look at the watch and it would kill it. These are little wins. These are little tiny things that salespeople can do wrong. You are a California dude. You seem like an Apple Watch wearing kind of fella to me.
No way.
But both of my kids and my dad both wear these Apple Watches. It's like, it's just constant. And it's distracting to me. So I'm just telling you how I did it. I needed to minimize all distractions so the telephone didn't go in the call with me. It did not. The watch didn't have one. I didn't own one, right? Absolutely. I got to the house, parked my car, got out of the truck, and man, you and Carolyn had me for the next couple hours. No distractions. There's nothing that can't wait that I may need to deal with. Nothing that can't wait.
Okay. We could pretty much close the podcast right now. Right? And I'm watching Andrew Zaragoza, who is our producer behind the mic, who I've asked today actually to be the voice of the people. So Andrew, I see you laughing. I see you enjoying yourself.
I'm hoping everyone's taking notes. And if you're in your truck driving to a job right now, I mean, just please go back and listen to what we've already heard. We have two living legends on today's podcast, and I'm sitting back here just blown away by just that black swan moment just now, because I'm guilty of it, because I am from that generation that has my phone on me all the time. And it's like, Alan just literally, luckily I have a bulletproof vest on, but he literally just emptied a clip and said, hey, you got to do better. And so that was a huge wake up call for me personally. But yeah, that was incredible.
Andrew, I was in the field till 2017, and certainly I spend way too much time on the iPhone. I'm guilty as charged. But I'm holding up a camera.
That's cool.
This is a Sony, probably last of the Mohicans, digital camera with the big screen, and it has an SD card in it. And I learned that if I took my pictures on this and I made my videos on this, and then I took the SD card and stuck it in my iPad, I could present. Like, I know that today, I gotta have my phone because I gotta take my pictures. I found a way around that. I was not going to allow a distraction to show up at that sales call with me, mentally or physically. So that's the way I did it. I'm not suggesting. I don't even know if you can buy these anymore.
What do you mean you're not suggesting?
Suggest.
What do you mean you're not? Please suggest. Please demand. Hey, we're looking to improve people's close ratio, improve people's income by 10 percentage points.
So then you got to not be distracted. They've got to go away.
So
minimize distractions.
What I'm hearing you say, and I love this analogy, when it comes to connecting with a client, there's high tech, there's low tech, and then there's no tech. What I'm hearing is no tech, just authentic communication, authentic love, sincerity. Whew. That's a lot right there, Alan. That's a lot right there.
That's amazing. And for the record, they do still sell those point and shoot cameras. So if anybody was listening on the audio and they couldn't see, he held up a simple Sony point and shoot camera. They're the ones that were like very compact and they have kind of like all in one thing. Sony sells them. Panasonic has the Lumix. Canon still has the G7. They're still out there. And by the way, for just everybody, when it comes to like printing stuff out and actually doing something with your photos, you will almost never do anything with them on your phone. But when you have an SD card that you can slide into like Alan just said, you can slide into an iPad, you can show them off. You can actually do something with it. You can make prints. All this stuff because of kind of taking a step back in technology is it again, and another really good reason you're not going to get notifications on a point and shoot camera. You're going to get business done and your clients are going to then see, okay, this guy literally is only focused on me. He's not sneaking in a text message while he's taking these pictures. It's just me right now. That is so freaking powerful.
And Alan, do you think the salesperson that came in before you, if we're talking about another competitor, brought their cell phone in?
Chances are good they did. Chances are good they were late. Chances are good they weren't prepared. Chances are good they didn't look like they need to look. We're just talking about the easy wins. These are the easy things to win that everybody can apply today.
Oh, 100%.
Makes sense.
And I'd love you to spend a little bit of time for that, or a little bit of time on that.
Sure.
Because I know you go on ride-alongs.
Sure.
And I know that you spend a lot of time, or I know you you emphasize dressing for success. Look like $1 million, or in Bud Viniconis's case, look like $8 million, right? Because he's on track to do $8 million.
Sure.
Bud is from Morris Jenkins, right? One of your.
What didn't you?
Oh,
didn't you just love him? Didn't you love him on the podcast?
If anybody, please go back to that podcast. If anybody wants to know and hear from a $8 million plus producer what he does, go see the Bud Viniconis podcast. So good.
I'm so lucky to be able to just have a friendship with him. He's good.
He's the epitome, though, of dressing for success, right?
Yeah. Well, let's talk about that. So, we've worn white starch Morris Jenkins shirts, like I'm wearing right now, or Oxford blue, pinpoint Oxford, since I got here 26 years ago. And we've sold $1 bazillion of stuff. Like, it works. All of our competition wears golf shirts. So we don't wear golf shirt. We don't want to look like them. Does that make sense? We wear like khaki or navy pants because a lot of our competition still wears blue jeans or shorts, and we're not. Does that make sense? This year, and it is hot. It is hot, and the attics do get hot in Charlotte, North Carolina. We got the fellas some golf shirts, and man, I ordered golf shirts from a lot of places. We tried them on. I didn't want the floppy collars, so we got like some $130 shirts with the hidden buttons. So they like nice looking shirts. And Bud said, "Boss man, I don't think I need one of those. I'm just going to keep wearing my white starch shirt."
It's only an $8 million producer. I mean,
Yeah. So,
if you want success, just model success. It's simple. People
sure.
complicate it. Find somebody who's successful and just surrender. That is
Sure.
a key word
sure.
right there, Alan. The ability for people to surrender to someone else's greatness. Why is that so damn hard, Alan?
Well, it shouldn't be. And there's no need to recreate the way when somebody else has showed you the way, you know. But works for him. So the point is we need to dress sharp, or crisp would probably be a better word. And I hate that we need to take time to talk about this on the podcast, but I do think it's important. The shoes need to match the belt. The shoes need to not be cowboy boots. Like, we're not wrangling horses. They don't need to be hey dudes. We're not on vacation. We need to look like a contractor. We're going to explore like Columbus here just in a little while. Episode 2, right? So we need to look like the sharpest contractor these people have ever met. Remember, they're trying to satisfy, is this the right guy? And it starts with the way we dress. And so in years past, I believe that a first impression was gained in about 6 to 7 seconds. That was like old data. You look it up today, it says that a first impression is gained in 1/10 of a second. So we have 1/10 of a second. Like, they're going to look and say, hey, that dude's sharp. Oh, that dude's a slob. Oh, she's a hottie. No, she's not. But people figure this out quick. So looking right is critical. No ball hats, no baseball hats, no sunglasses to the front door, no sunglasses on your forehead, no sunglasses on the back of your neck. Like, I don't even get that. But this is the little wins. These are little things that we can win. No skill is needed to win these things. Just make sure we do them, right?
You had mentioned that you had gone on some ride-alongs in the past couple weeks and seen salespeople where they were wearing a hat. They were wearing glasses on your forehead.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned that. Those came from specific ride-alongs that you were going on inside of other wrench companies that you have been working with.
Sure. And we got a fellow here that I just love absolutely to death. He comes into a 7:00 meeting, his sunglasses are on his head like a hood ornament. You know, it's still dark outside and we're in a room with no windows. Like, why? So I'm always fearful that they'll get worn in on the call, but we don't want to do that. We don't want to draw attention to anything like that whatsoever. We want to be just a polished, helpful contractor. That's the look that we're going for.
So, Alan, you're talking to salespeople right now. I'm going to really quickly talk to sales managers. If you have salespeople that are wearing glasses, that are dressing sloppily, I don't even know if that's a word, that are wearing hats inside of the house, you have to stop them. You have to call them on it. Let them watch this podcast. Let them hear from someone who is a living legend in the industry. Let them make sure they watch the Bud Viniconis podcast so they see how sharp and what a true professional sales pro looks like. And if you're weak and unable to do that, that's on you. Because I have had salespeople, I've had sales managers tell me, well, I don't want to hurt his feelings because he's going to go out and run a call and I need for him to be at the top of his game. You know what I say to that? BS. It's your feelings you're worried about. You're unable to have that crucial conversation to address it and get that feedback, whatever that is that salesperson gives you. A great sales manager must have the ability to have that tough conversation and face adversity in the face, or face it head on and be okay with it. Know that you're helping that person be better for them, be better for their family, and be better for the company. Thank you for that little commercial break, Alan. Let's get back and talk to the sales team, the salespeople.
Yeah. Okay. No, we need to go here quick, and then we'll move on from appearance. I don't want to sound like the old fart here on the podcast. I am turning into an old fart. I'm pushing 50, right? But guess what? A lot of our customers are old farts. So we got to look the part. I would tell salespeople, either get up every morning and shave, or either have the tightest, nicest looking beard in the world. No in between. There's no, I forgot to shave this morning, I'll do it tomorrow, boss. Like, this doesn't work. Are you tracking with me? If you grow a beard, it needs to be tight. The neck needs to be clean.
So every day you have to shave.
Every day, or you should. The neck, I'm totally cool with beards. All the hunky guys have beards. Like, I get that. And we have some good looking fellas here with beards too. But this is in between stuff don't work for me. Like, either shave and be crisp, or have a nice looking beard that all the guys wish they had one like it. You know what I'm saying? One or the other.
We had a sales manager here, Eric Andrews, who had the most professional looking beard. He shaved his neck every day, and he used to preach, guys, you have to shave every day. Every day. What that means is cleaning up your neck every day, no matter what. Cleaning up above your cheeks. You got to do that. It's a non-negotiable in this world of professional sales, professional, just being a professional. So I love it. I love it, Alan.
Hey, listen, you see, everybody don't see me right now. I know this is an audio podcast, but I'm missing about half of my hair. Like, I think Kevin said a 5
Well,
head.
No, I said I was getting, it used to be a 4 head. I'm starting to get a 5 head. So I said that about myself.
I got like
yes.
I got a lot of head here. I still get a haircut every Friday. Every Friday, I go to the same barber. I get the same haircut every Friday. It's an old school barber shop. Andy Griffith's on the TV. You know the one. I go every Friday, and I do it really to lead by example here. But hair on the back of your neck or just bushy hair like this don't work. They're going to size you up in 1/10 of a second. They've sized you up before you knocked on the door. They were looking out the window at you when you walked up the sidewalk.
So true.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes.
If a sales manager is talking to a sales member, again, terminology, salesperson,
comfort advisor, salesperson,
they're getting rebuttals like, it's not really my style, or I like wearing a hat because, again, maybe I am balding, all these things. Would that salesperson maybe need to sort of take a really deep, an opportunity to really think inside internally and ask themselves if this position is for them? Because if these basic, simple things and pieces of advice are beyond what they're willing to do, is this maybe a position that they're not fit for? Do they have to have that honest conversation with themselves? And does that sales manager need to have that really important conversation with that salesperson?
Great question. Alan, you want to take that?
Yeah. Number one, if you got a guy that's just sloppy, you probably should have never put him in a sales truck to start with, because people don't change that much. Is that fair? But you might have inherited a sales team and there's a sloppy fella on there. And you'd probably, when you get 90% of the guys that are tight, looking, and gals, just tight, professional looking, and one standout's not so tight, he's not going to perform at their level. It just won't. Pure accountability is great. It really is. I think that the person will probably step their game up, but it's really a non-negotiable. Like, we have to look sharp. We're asking for a lot of money. This is a lot of money for these people. People are going to set up an easy payment plan, and they're going to stretch this thing for 10 or 15 years for the system. We're asking for a big commitment. We need to put on a good show. And it starts right there at the front door. That 1/10 of a second, first impression's got to be crisp. The company vehicle's got to be clean. This is your billboard. I mean, like, get a pass to the auto bell and go often and pay for the tire gloss. And when they open the door, they should see you looking crisp and your truck sitting crisp behind you. They're trying to figure out, is this the right guy? That's what they're thinking about. And you need to just send that before you even speak, that, yes, I'm the right guy.
Does that answer your question, Andrew?
Oh, and then some, right? He said, yes, of course it matters that much, but then also, hey, you're probably gonna have to spend a couple extra bucks at the car wash, but a couple extra bucks here for $8 million later, like it seems like a pretty fair deal. Mm-hmm. Gosh, dude, just straight gold, sir. That was incredible.
I know we're gonna dig into this when we talk about Explore Like Columbus. But I do think acting like a boss does entail having the right tools. And
for sure,
a tool might be a pad.
The best tool that a salesperson has or should use is a notepad. We're going to take notes, and we're going to let them watch us take notes. Does that make sense? Kevin, you ever been to a restaurant with a big group out there in California? And there's like, you can hardly talk to the guy or gal at the other end of the table, and the waiter's working their butt off, and they're going around the table and they're taking everybody's order, and they're not writing anything down. You know the one. What's the chance that somebody's order is going to get goofed?
It makes me nervous when that happens, Alan.
I know it's probably going to be mine, right? But the waiter that's got the pad and they ask and they check for clarity and then they read back what you got and they go around, man, this guy's earning a commission, earning a tip, right? Notepad goes on a call. I mean, that's equally as important as wearing underwear, right? We're going to take notes and not weird stuff. We're not writing down weird stuff, but when they share a pain point, by gosh, we want to write it, read it back to them, check for clarity. Am I hearing you? You're telling me X, and you're going to say, yeah, that's exactly right. Perfect. And that's it. And you move on. I also believe that drawing is powerful. If you don't know how to draw, that's okay. I'm not a great artist. But when you're with a customer at the air condition outside, or they're maybe in the attic or the basement with you, and you can grab that notepad and you've got a piece of paper to draw what you're trying to tell, there's this relationship is being built right there. So this drawing, taking notes, win and move. That's a win and move. All salespeople don't do this, but all salespeople should do this. This is easy to execute today.
Hey, Alan, I saw this happen when we got on Service Titan. A big mistake I saw our salespeople make is they walked in the house with their big iPad Pro. No other notepad.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say, again, high tech, low tech, no tech. Walk in with a pad.
Yeah.
And you also said something I want to make sure everybody heard you say. Let them see you write it down. Why is that?
Well, because it's important, isn't it? Like your home is your castle. And you've just shared something, a pain point, something you'd like to change, something you want different. Number one, I don't trust my memory to anything anymore. So they're number one. But number two, when they see me write it and I can share it back to them, it's solidifying this, hey, I got the right guy.
Yeah. You just said something that I want to make sure everybody gets because I'm making a note of it. Write, share. Write, share. You emphasized this at the very beginning, Alan. People do business with people they trust. So this is all a trust game. You're building trust if you share with them what they just told you, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm just hearing, I'm reflecting back on what you said earlier, and then I'm seeing it come to fruition with the tools that you're using.
Sure. Yeah, if I only had one tool, it's the Notepad.
Did everybody just hear that? If I only had one tool. If I only had one tool, it's the Notepad. Wow. Is it possible to have two black swans in one podcast?
There's just so many gems.
Alan. Tell me the importance. Well, let me just say this. I've always believed there's 3 C's that make a great salesperson successful. Competence is at the very base. Competence. It all starts with competence. Because then that leads to the second C, which is confidence. And it's confidence that you bring to the call. Remember our urban dictionary of act like a boss. It's confidence that you bring to the call. And it's confidence that the client then has in you. And the third thing is control. Yes, you need to be in charge. Yes, you need to be the one that has an agenda. Yes, you need to be the one in the midst of craziness is in control of your emotions. Would you talk a little bit about the first C, the competence piece? Yeah, the
competence. Yeah,
and how that plays out at Morris Jenkins, as far as being technically competent.
Sure. Yeah, no, this is good. Be the master of airflow if you're an HVAC salesperson. Like so many problems and pain points and mildew and mold growing or growth or whatever we want to call it, hot spots or cold spots or velocity noises or death of units or high SEER units that are delivering half of their stated SEER rating. Like all of these problems are a result of airflow. Now, I don't think a salesperson needs to know how to sit down with chart paper and graph paper and draw the perfect duct system, but we need to understand supply and return and some flow. And I think that you can share that with a customer in language that they can understand. And that helps with the confidence and the competence and all the other stuff. Does that make sense? So, like your question was, what kind of competence do we need? Well, we need to understand airflow. We really, really need to understand it. We need to understand how an air conditioner works in refrigeration. Like, we don't have to put gauges on this thing, but we need to understand what makes them leak and where they typically do leak and the risk of going with a leak without taking action on that leak. We need to understand. We understand a lot, and so the way we would learn that is spend time with your technicians and spend time with your installers. A lot of this just takes time. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I didn't know this in the beginning. But we would talk about these things in sales meetings. Yes, we would talk about sales stuff, but we would talk about airflow and refrigeration and gas pressures and this other kind of stuff. Like, we have to be on a level of competence. You know what I mean? We can't go and just puke all this into a customer. Oh, look what all I know. It's not that. But you have to understand what's going on. Same for selling electrical, same for selling generators, same for selling panels, same for selling sewers. You got to understand what you're talking about. You got to be the doctor. And if you're not there, you'll get there. And the way to get there is spend time with people smarter than you. Like, between calls, downtime is hard for a salesperson. It is. Like, what do? Do I start cutting my grass? I got 2 calls tonight. The middle of the day's open. Heck no, go get with an install crew and learn something. Go ride with a tech and learn something. Go sit in a tech meeting. They're probably learning something. So get around people that are smarter than you learn what you need to learn, but you got to be the doctor if you're going to be able to solve people's problems.
Is that something that a sales manager can prescribe, or I don't want to say like make it mandatory, but is that something that a sales manager can either recommend or make it as a part of, maybe a training process?
Sales managers should have some sort of technical training in the curriculum. This should be talked about often. The sales manager's got a lot of other things to do too. I get this. And they're not always the sole educator. But they're smart people in our businesses. We have 29 of the most successful brands around America, right, Kevin? And so there's smart people in this organization. We don't have to learn that much. And once you learn it, you don't have to relearn it. Once you get it, you got it.
Well, I think you said it more than anything else, Alan. And it's funny because we have a podcast coming up next week that's going to be dropped on Monday. And if it's meant to be, it's up to me is the name of the podcast. And so what you just said is a true sales pro takes initiative. Go to the install job site, whether it's yours or someone else. You might learn something if it's someone else's install and how they are going to configure it and what they saw.
Kevin, since 2017, we've welcomed no salespeople to the team here that were not a technician here first. Everybody that's joined this sales team was a technician here first since 2017. We don't take them and put them in a truck. I take them and put them in an install truck. We just put 2 new fellows on the team. I'm so excited about what they're going to achieve. They started the second week of May, and all of April and all of March, they rode with installers, and they worked. And they run flue pipes through roofs, and they built pure flow systems. They installed generators. They installed furnaces and mini splits in garages and all the stuff. Yes. Does that make sense? That time is critical.
I think of the...
If you don't know how to do that, you won't be able to identify people's problems when you see them in the houses.
I think of the top salespeople here at Service Champions. Chris Lucas, former installer. Bob McKiley, service technician. Travis Moore, service technician. Nick Griffin, service technician. Cash Conley, service technician. I can go on and on and on. What you just said is so true, as they all came to the sales arena with technical competency. At the same token, if you're a salesperson who came into this profession, that let this be a reminder to go get yourself continually technically competent. Because I can think of top salespeople. Jim Landis never was a technician, so technically competent though. Peter Kokelar, so technically competent, they call him the process. These are all people that those two never had the technician role. So it is very, very possible to come in without the technician or installer badge. Yet what I'm hearing you say is go get yourself more competent.
For sure. I was never a technician.
Did everybody just hear that?
Ever.
Did everybody just hear? So I make sure that the salespeople that weren't technicians just heard what Alan just said.
Yeah, it's okay that you weren't a technician. The salespeople that don't have this knowledge, all they got to talk about on the call is the 2-stage Linux, blah, blah, blah. And then here's a discount on the train, blah, blah, blah. That's a variable, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And that's not what we should be talking about. That's not what the customer wants to talk about.
I know we're going to get deeper into this in a later episode. There's 3 things our competition is always talking about. And I know you know these 3. They're talking about price. They're talking about brand. and they're talking about efficiency. So guess what 3 things we must stay away from when we're in the home? Price, brand, and efficiency. If you fall back on those and fail to talk about airflow, fail to talk about whatever, the call center open till midnight, whatever it is, the university that we have that puts technicians out into the field that are going to be installing at your home rather than practicing on your home, they're practicing at our university so that they're pros when they get to your home. Those are the things we talk about.
Sure. Agreed.
Do you guys ever recommend people or salespeople when they're on a call talk about the outcome, meaning their house is currently hot and they really want the AC to work and be efficient and whatnot? Do you ever recommend salespeople sort of lead with the outcome and kind of the transformation of not comfortable to the most comfortable house you've ever lived in? And this comes from me and my fitness background, where I'm not going to tell Kevin, hey, we're going to have 5 workouts a day. You're going to get 10 meal plans. You're going to get all this stuff. No, I'm going to say, hey, Kevin, you're going to be in the best shape of your life, and your whole family's going to be stunned when they see you at the beach next year. I don't talk about the stuff. I talk about the outcomes. Is there a similar correlation when it comes to this realm?
For sure. So this would be kind of a break fix lead. It's broke. You need a new one. You don't have to be a good salesperson to sell those. You can just be mediocre. It's hot. I need an air conditioner. You're the right guy at the right time. You get that one. What we're really talking about is the Home Depot lead, or the ones that you got to dig up roll up your sleeves and go fight for. But what I found is that even on a break fix lead, a tech flip, I'm still going to find a bunch of problems they didn't know they had. Yes, we're going to get your house cooler, but by gosh, you just about lost your ceiling because look how the heck they ran this drain. This thing makes a gallon of water an hour. Water's 8 pounds per gallon. Man, you know what I mean? We're going to go find some other things to solve also. There ain't a house I've been to where there weren't other issues. I want to talk about that stuff versus I'm going to get you cold. You're going to be nice and cold this time.
And we're going to save that to the next episode, which is Explore Like Columbus. What I just want to touch on real quick, though, Alan, we're coming into the time of year where 90% of the leads that we're running, there's no urgency. There's no breakdown that is going to need a replacement. In most cases, there's no urgency to take action right now. So we've got it. Go.
Listen, I promise. I talked to you Friday twice. You were so busy. I think you flew away to see your son play baseball. I hope that was fun. You went to Washington State. We texted on Saturday and Sunday. We talked yesterday. I caught you in the car. You are busy, and I'm busy too. Time is commodity nowadays. Is that fair? Almost as important as money. There ain't nobody that calls us out for a free estimate today because it was free and I didn't have anything else to do. There's some kind of pain there, I promise. People aren't just kicking tires. I have not been to a Costco recently and bought a big pack of chicken and a couple of bottles of wine, right, and 5 gallons of milk, and then said, hey, I think I'm going to get a free price on a generator because they're giving out free estimates. I don't do that. If I do that, it's because I lost power last month and it was painful. I don't think people are just having people out for estimates for fun. I really don't. There's something there, right? And so I understand it's not a break fix, but there's a pain there, and we got to find it in episode 2.
What a perfect lead in. What a perfect lead in.
That was good.
Okay, but I'm not done with my list.
Love
so
it.
You just
Let's
tell
go.
me
This is so good. This is so good.
Okay, if I'm coming to see you at Carolyn and you've agreed to have me come to your home tomorrow morning, 9:00, okay? If I don't get there till 9:30, how do you feel about that? Is that a potential objection?
You're already behind the 8 ball with me.
Well, I told you I was going to be there at 9, but I didn't get there at 9:30. I'm already lying to you. You're busy. Like you didn't have time for the first meeting at 9. You sure don't have time for me to be 30 minutes late. So let me just throw some easy wins. This is really about easy wins. Be on darn time for the call. Be on time for the call. Well, I called them. They said it was fine if I was late. No, yes, I know. That's because they're nice people. You inconvenience them. Let's be on time for the call. If it's an 11, let's get there at 11. If you're running late, talk to your dispatch. See if we can give you longer time windows. That's okay too. But get there when you say you want to get there. That makes sense? Call them when they're on the way. If I'm coming to your house, I'm going to call you or Carolyn's number, and I'm going to say, Carolyn, this is Alan Morris Jenkins. I'm on the way. I can't wait to meet you. I'm about 12 minutes out. Okay, that's it. Why is that important for me to do that? Like, why would I want to do that? Why would I want to talk to you and Carolyn?
TRUST. Trust.
For sure. Yeah. I also want you to hear my voice. Like, we're breeding some familiarity here. Like, you've heard my voice, and then 12 minutes later, you're going to see me at your front door. You're going to hear my voice again. I'm getting on friend level fast as I can. I know that people pay attention because I've got an interesting voice, and people would tell me often, I expected you to be a lot older. Like I didn't look like they expected. I just put this correlation together. Like the sound of my voice made a difference. So you call them, you tell them you're going to be there, you be there on time. You dress like $8 million if you want to sell what Bud Vinicona sells, and you got your notepad.
Yes.
Make sense? And you're prepared. And you took your 3 deep breaths, and you know a little bit about their house. And I think that's where we are right now. We're just getting to the house.
Act like a boss. Act like a boss. I want to wrap up this first episode with just a couple of the black swans you shared. I want to make sure people clearly heard the get rid of distractions. Keep your phone in the truck. Take your watch off. Wow. You already said it, dress for success. Look like $8 million. If Alan only had one tool to bring in the house, it would be a notepad. You said be the master of airflow. Just want to make sure everybody heard that. Be the master of airflow when it comes to finding the pain, because every home has it. And then you finished, Alan, by saying just simple, basic things. Just be on time. Show up when you're going to say. Let them hear your voice prior to the call. Let them know you're 12 minutes out, 10 minutes out. Begin to build that familiarity. Anything you want to wrap up on, Alan?
No, I love it. These are easy wins, easy things to do. And I'm fearful that we have a good amount of folks that miss these easy wins. Take the easy wins.
Well, I'm going to change that. I have faith based on who you are and based on the fact that we are moving in the direction of increasing our revenue inside of Wrench in 2026 and the initiatives that we're putting in place, this being the most important one in my opinion, which is salespeople increasing their closing rate by a minimum of 10%. If they put these actions into place, I guarantee you they will be in store for a bigger future. So, Alan, to close out episode number 1, buddy, act like a boss. Here's to a bigger future. Thanks, team.